All right, let's dive into manifesting, especially money. We're looking at some YouTube videos from Sylviane.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, you know how some people just seem to ooze success,
Mm-hmm.
like even before they've made it?
Yeah, yeah.
Sylviane's all about that, it's about cultivating that inner state of being.
What I find really fascinating about Sylvian is that she goes beyond basic affirmations and visualizations.
Right.
She's saying it's not about chasing fleeting emotions. It's about cultivating that deep sense of worthiness and abundance.
I've always struggled with affirmations.
Yeah.
It always felt kind of forced.
Yeah.
But state of being, that feels more tangible.
Exactly. And she actually uses an example from her own life. When she was starting out as a coach, she felt like a total failure.
Oh, wow.
She said she had zero idea how to help people.
Well, yeah, if you're coming from a place of lack,
Exactly.
it's hard to inspire others. So how'd she turn things around?
Well, she realized that her internal state was blocking her success. So she started working on her self-concept, shifting her state of being from failing coach to successful coach.
Huh.
And get this, she claims this shift happened before she even saw any results in her business.
Whoa, so she was embodying the success before she actually achieved it.
Exactly.
That's pretty mind-blowing. It's like she's saying the external world is a reflection of our internal world.
That's exactly it.
God.
And this actually ties into another key theme we see with Sylviane, money as energy.
Okay, let's unpack that. Money as energy. I've heard it before, but it always feels kind of vague.
Right.
What does it actually mean to tune into the energy of money?
Yeah. So think of it like you're a radio. You can tune into different frequencies, right?
Sure.
Sylviane's saying we can do the same with money.
Mm-hmm.
If we're broadcasting a frequency of lack and scarcity, guess what we're going to attract?
More lack and scarcity. So if I want to manifest more money, I need to shift my internal frequency to one of abundance, even if my bank account doesn't reflect that yet.
Right, exactly.
Makes sense. So how do we make that shift? Is it just about thinking positive thoughts all the time?
Well, it's more nuanced than just positive thinking. Sylviane's very clear that everyone experiences a full range of emotions.
Yeah, she even admits to being a very emotional person herself.
Exactly.
So it's not about pretending those negative emotions don't exist.
I know. It's about recognizing that those emotions are temporary visitors, not permanent residents. What matters is not getting swept away by them, and instead anchoring yourself to that core state of being you want to cultivate.
So even if I'm freaking out about a bill, I can still choose to hold on to the belief that I'm inherently abundant,
That's the idea.
worthy of financial well-being.
It's like having a strong inner compass.
Oh, no.
Keeps you pointed toward your desired destination, even if you encounter some stormy seas along the way.
I'm starting to see how powerful this could be. But does Sylviane ever address how to cultivate these states of being?
Right.
I mean, it's one thing to say embody abundance.
Sure.
It's another to actually do it.
You're right. It's not always easy, but the good news is Sylviane offers tools and techniques, and that's exactly what we're going to be diving into next.
Okay, so stay tuned, listeners, because
Yeah?
next we're getting into the nitty-gritty of how to shift your internal state and align with the energy of money.
Okay, so let's get practical.
Yeah.
You know how we were talking about Sylviane's toolbox of techniques for shifting your state of being?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a recipe,
Yeah.
you know? It's more about finding what resonates with you and incorporating it into your practice.
So it's like a buffet of abundance attracting tools.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
Oh,
So where do we start? What are some of the key techniques?
well, she's big on affirmations, but with a twist.
Okay.
It's not just about mindlessly repeating any old phrase.
Right.
It's about choosing affirmations that genuinely align with that state of being you want to cultivate.
So instead of just chanting, I am rich,
Right.
which always felt a bit hollow to me, I might say something like, I am open and receptive to the flow of abundance.
Exactly.
Or money comes to me easily and effortlessly.
Exactly. It's about finding those phrases that resonate with you personally and evoke the feeling of already having what you desire.
And she also stresses the importance of feeling those words,
Yes,
not just saying them.
absolutely.
So it's not just about the words themselves, but the energy and the emotion behind them.
Exactly. And speaking of energy, remember our radio analogy. Visualization is another powerful tool
Okay.
for tuning into the frequency of abundance. Sylviane encourages, closing your eyes and vividly imagining yourself living that life you desire.
So I might picture myself running a thriving business, traveling to like exotic locales, or just feeling financially secure and at ease.
Exactly. Engage all your senses. Don't just see it, feel the excitement, hear the sounds of laughter and success, even smell the ocean breeze if that's part of your vision.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's like creating a movie in your mind, a preview of the reality you want to create. Now, I know we talked about emotions not directly manifesting outcomes,
Right.
but Sylviane does acknowledge that they can be valuable indicators, right?
Right.
So how can we use our emotions as guideposts on this journey?
Well, she encourages paying attention to how you feel throughout the day. If
Okay.
you're consistently feeling anxious or stressed about money, that might be a sign
Okay.
that you need to revisit your beliefs
Huh.
or shift your perspective.
So those negative emotions are like red flags,
Yeah.
signaling that I might be out of alignment with my desired state of being.
You could say that, yes. It's a cue to pause and ask yourself, what belief or story is creating this feeling,
Right.
and how can I reframe it? Maybe you need to challenge the belief that money is scarce or that you're not worthy of abundance.
This is where the real inner work comes in.
Absolutely.
It's not just about affirmations and visualizations.
Yeah.
It's about becoming aware of those deep-seated beliefs and stories that might be blocking us.
Absolutely. This is where practices like journaling or meditation can be incredibly helpful. Even working with a therapist or a coach, Sylviane emphasizes that transformation often requires going beneath the surface
Right.
and getting to the root of our money blocks.
So it's a holistic approach, addressing our mental, emotional, even spiritual relationship with money. Now, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, taking inspired action.
Right.
How do we know when we're acting from a place of inspiration versus just hustling out of fear or scarcity?
That's a great question, and it's a distinction that Sylviane really emphasizes. Inspired action feels aligned, effortless, even joyful. It arises from a place of trust and knowing, not from a place of desperation.
So if I'm forcing myself to like network or take on extra work just to make ends meet, that might not be the most aligned action.
Right, it might not be. It's about tuning into your intuition and asking yourself, does this feel good? Does this align with my vision? Or am I just reacting from a place of fear?
So it's like learning to discern between the voice of our inner wisdom and the voice of our inner critic, which is often fueled by scarcity.
Right, exactly.
This is such a different way of approaching finances than I'm used to. It's exciting, but also a little daunting.
It's a shift in perspective, for sure.
Yeah.
But for those who are willing to embrace the journey, Sylviane's approach offers a path to creating a more abundant and fulfilling financial reality.
Now, I know Sylviane talks a lot about trusting the timing of the universe,
Right.
but how do we reconcile this trust with taking, practical steps to improve our finances?
Yeah.
Is it about finding a balance?
It is a delicate dance.
Yeah.
Sylviane doesn't advocate for passive waiting, but rather a conscious surrender to the flow of life. It's about taking inspired action while simultaneously releasing the need to control every outcome.
So it's not about sitting back and expecting money to magically appear.
Not quite. It's about aligning our energy with abundance and trusting that the universe will orchestrate the details, often in ways we could never have imagined.
This reminds me of something she said in one of the videos. She shared a story about how she unexpectedly received a large sum of money right when she needed it most.
Right.
And she attributed this to being in a state of deep trust and surrender.
Exactly. She emphasizes that when we let go of our tight grip on how things should be, we open ourselves up to receiving in unexpected and delightful ways.
It's like that saying, let go and let God.
Yeah.
Or in this case, let go and let the universe handle it. But easier said than done, of course, especially when bills are piling up.
Absolutely.
So we've covered affirmations, visualizations, paying attention to our emotions, and taking inspired action. Are there any other key techniques that Sylviane recommends?
One practice she often mentions is gratitude. It's about cultivating a deep appreciation for what we already have, even if it's not our ideal scenario yet.
Yeah, I've heard that gratitude can actually shift our energy, make us more receptive to abundance.
Exactly. She encourages keeping a gratitude journal, expressing thanks for everything.
Oh, wow.
From a warm cup of coffee to a supportive friend to the money that's already flowing into our lives.
It's about training our minds to focus on the positive, which then creates that ripple effect, attracting more things to be grateful for.
Precisely. And gratitude isn't just about feeling good. Sylviane believes it's a powerful act of alignment with the energy of abundance.
This is all starting to make so much sense. It's not just about wishful thinking. It's about a fundamental shift in how we view ourselves,
Yeah,
money, and our power to create the reality we desire.
absolutely. It's about recognizing that we are not victims of circumstance, but powerful creators with the ability to shape our financial destinies.
This is definitely a lot to digest, and I'm sure some listeners are eager to put these ideas into practice. Any final words of wisdom?
Remember that this is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, experiment with different techniques, and above all, trust in your own inner guidance.
Great advice. And stay tuned, listeners, because next we'll be exploring even deeper aspects of Sylviane's teachings, including her perspective on aligning with our soul's purpose and finding true fulfillment through our financial endeavors. This is where it gets really juicy. Okay, so we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into Sylviane's approach to manifesting money. We've talked about affirmations, visualizations, understanding money as energy, inspired action, gratitude. Wow.
It's a lot.
It is. But I feel like there's one more piece to this puzzle, right? You mentioned something about aligning with our soul's purpose.
Yes, this is where it gets really interesting. Remember how we talked about states of being? Well, Sylvian believes that one of the most powerful states we can cultivate is alignment with our soul's purpose.
Oh, wow. So how does that relate to money? Isn't following your passion supposed to be like more than just financial gain?
Of course, Sylviane isn't saying that following your purpose guarantees you'll become a millionaire or anything, but she does believe that when we're doing work that lights us up, that feels truly meaningful and aligned with our soul, we naturally attract the resources we need to thrive.
So it's not about chasing money for money's sake. It's about pursuing our passions and trusting that the financial abundance will follow.
That's it. Sylviane often talks about the difference between hustling and flowing. Hustling comes from a place of fear and scarcity, while flowing comes from a place of alignment and trust.
Ooh, I like that. It's like when you're doing something you love, it doesn't even feel like work, right? You're in the flow, and opportunities just seem to effortlessly appear.
Precisely. Sylviane believes that when we're in that state of flow, we become magnetic to abundance. It's like we're tapping into a universal current that supports us in fulfilling our purpose.
This makes me think about all the times I felt stuck in my work like I was swimming upstream. Maybe that was a sign that I wasn't fully aligned with my purpose.
It's definitely possible. Sylviane encourages us to pay attention to those feelings of resistance. They can be valuable clues that we're off course. She suggests asking ourselves questions like, what brings me joy? What am I naturally good at? What kind of impact do I want to make in the world?
Those are great questions, and I imagine the answers can lead us toward work that feels more fulfilling, and as Sylvian would say, more aligned with our soul's purpose.
Exactly. And she believes that when we're in that state of alignment, money becomes a natural byproduct of our passion and purpose.
So it's not about forcing or manipulating situations to make money. It's about following our inner compass and trusting that the universe will provide.
That's the essence of it. It's about surrendering to the flow of life, allowing abundance to come to us in its perfect timing.
This is inspiring. But does Sylvian ever address how to actually transition into purpose-driven work? I mean, what if you're stuck in a job you hate but feel trapped by, financial obligations?
She acknowledges that it's not always a quick or easy process. She encourages people to start small, maybe exploring their passions in their free time or taking baby steps toward their dream career.
So it's about gradually shifting our energy and focus rather than expecting like an overnight transformation.
Exactly. She emphasizes that even small actions taken in alignment with our purpose can create a ripple effect, eventually leading to bigger shifts and opportunities.
This reminds me of what you said earlier about inspired action. Maybe those seemingly small steps are actually the inspired actions that pave the way to a more fulfilling and abundant life.
Beautifully said. Sylviane believes that when we're following our bliss, we're not only creating a more joyful life for ourselves, but also contributing to the well-being of the world around us.
So we become like a beacon of positive energy, attracting abundance and inspiring others to do the same.
Precisely. That's the ripple effect Sylviane talks about. When we live in alignment with our purpose, we create a positive ripple that extends far beyond ourselves.
Wow, this has been such an eye-opening conversation. I feel inspired to take a fresh look at my relationship with money, to explore those areas of my life that feel truly aligned with my soul's purpose. What about you, listener? What resonated with you most from Sylvian's teachings? We'd love to hear your thoughts. What insights or aha moments did you have during our deep dive? Remember, the journey to financial abundance is unique for everyone. Take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't, and trust in your own inner wisdom. Until next time, deep divers, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep manifesting the life of your dreams.